what your lordships should examine is what has come out in this hearing so far. Has it reassured your lordships that a fair exam was indeed held? That when there was unfairness which was reported, was it fairly investigated? And what the investigating agency has told your lordship, that it took place at a very brief point of time on the day of the exam, and therefore the contamination was very limited. Is that something which your lordship would place reliance on? I'm going by exactly what the CBI said. The CBI says that there is an organized mafia in these matters. They work on a business proposition. 3 months prior itself, they have sent out their agents saying, if you are willing to pay, we will get you the paper. And we will see to it that you get a rank of your choice. Now, what the CBI has told you is that the leak has occurred between 8:02 and 9:26 on the morning of the 5th. When one Mr. Pankaj Kumar goes into that room in Hazaribagh, extracts the paper, takes photographs, reseals it in that envelope, closes the trunk, comes out, and only thereafter physically goes to another place in Hazaribagh, gives it to the solvers, or from outside after. So that takes it to around, from 9:26, it takes it to 9:30. Your lordships will mark the timeline from 9:30 to 12:30. That is the timeline that the CBI has told your lordships. At 9:30, if the papers, photographs are either taken physically or WhatsApped, then the solvers are split, and let's give them another half an hour to answer 30 questions, 20 questions each that they get. That takes it to 10. Between 10 and 12, because 12:30 they're dropped off back. Students are supposed to have read the papers and memorized it, and then gone. Now, my lords, for that uncertain chance of 2 hours, which parent will pay 30 lakhs to 75 lakhs in advance? Please take just that. That is why it is implausible. I am going by the first FIR which the Patna police registered. And I submit to your lordships that where it is clear that on the night of the 4th, the students had solved papers and were asked to memorize. And despite all that, they still failed. So obviously, when preparations are made for people to pass exams or to get a good rank, they need adequate time. This kind of timeline does not work. This brief 2-hour intervention, my lords, is not plausible. And in fact, the Oasis school from where it was, where this leak happened, there is a video of the principal saying that when the earlier EOU asked, showed him how this had happened, their conclusion seemed to be that the leakage happened before the papers went into the bank. There is a video of the man when he was not under arrest. The leakage has probably happened on the 3rd. It happens in Hazaribagh. It is caught in Patna. And it is at the behest of Sanjeev Mukhia, who has not only a history of conducting leaks, he is now a big investor in leaks. My lords,
Mr.
yes,
argued.
that he's argued.
Anything else that you have to add?
Please, my lords. The question is, what is the precedent that 3 of your lordships will hold? Most of the judgments that your lordships have delivered are 2-judge judgments. And if your lordships were to be called upon to say that, look, this much of a leak or of a localized leak is not something which we will interfere in, and which we will possibly say, for want of a better term, wink at, then as a lawyer, I might tell you, lordships, that for the next 20, 30 years, we will be forever striving to say, no, this is not a leak of that kind, this is a leak of this kind, and it is such a small one. So there, my lords, just before I end, my lords, this precedent point came up much earlier, where the argument was made as the solicitors made. And I beseech you, rest once the law to your authority to do a great right, do a little wrong. And Portia's answer was, it must not be. There's no power in Venice can alter a decree established. It will be recorded for a precedent. And many an error by the same example will rush into the state. It must not be.
Yes, thank you, Mr.
I'm
Yes,
grateful.
my lord. I wanted to answer one question of Justice Pardivada and Justice Lordship's question. And when the questions are raised, any member